Today is Saturday, July 2nd at 9:23 a.m. The ship go past the Kiel Canal in Germany. And on the left hand side to be Denmark, still Denmark, but on the right hand side to be Kiel Canal, Hamburg, Germany. That's the outside here. This is Germany. What we knew. It's Germany here.
Riga in Latvia and also Helsinki, again, a double header. So bear with me. I'll try to get into the travel particulars. I give you the most up-to-date information I have. Sometimes we don't have actual confirmations on shuttles and things like that till the morning of or even the evening before. So sometimes I don't like to promise things that I can't be sure are going to happen. So bear with me with that. But today, let's go to Riga first. This is a beautiful little place where you can actually walk in. We're going to be docking in something called the Daugana River. We sail right in, tie up, and the old town is about a 10-minute walk right from the ship. You just essentially go out of the little pier, and you turn right and you walk down along the waterway, and you'll see a couple of interesting things on the way down. And then at one point you'll see the old town. You just literally cross the street. So the city has a lot of interesting history. Some of the history's been quite difficult. A lot of invasions. They were occupied by both the Soviets and the Nazis. So part of their history is a little dark. I had a taxi driver from here the other day, and I was talking about it. He said to me, "Oh, please don't tell all about the bad things," he said, "because we're very positive people and things have changed for the better." And I said, "No, I will acknowledge that. It's a beautiful town." I first came here in 1990-something, and it was still in the shadow of all of the Soviet oppression that it was experiencing. But today it's colorful, it's full of cafes, murals, beautifully restored little medieval cottages, and a great town to just get lost and walk on foot. Okay, here's the flag, and they're going to be using the euro here for our next couple of ports. Euro is the easy way to go. Language is Latvian. Some English may be spoken. You may also hear Russian spoken as well. Here it is, sitting between Estonia and Lithuania, and some of the old medieval pictures of the town. A couple of churches here. You'll notice the two big steeples I'll show you. There is a Riga tour bus. It's a hop-on, hop-off type bus. You can find it sitting right outside the old town. So as I said, as you walk in along the water, you'll see the town on the left, and the buses stop right there. And the only thing is they can't get into the old town. Obviously, those little town streets are pretty narrow. But we're going to be docking right on this river, and right there where the arrow points is the town. We'll be just above that arrow, so give you a little point of reference. Now, there's a very old history here. There were indigenous people. They were here in as early as the 800s, they think. By the 12th century, this whole area was a target for both the Danes and the Germans for economic and political expansion. They wanted to get up here and get into the trade. And so there were several incursions. They came up here and they made it part of what was called the Hanseatic League. They became the big fish brokers for Europe primarily, and they also shipped a lot of other goods, and they made this a post. So you'll see a couple of their buildings, which are beautifully restored right in the main town center. They were controlled by essentially Germans for many, many years. Look at that, aren't they beautiful little streets? Colorful cobblestones for the most part, sidewalks. History and their occupations. They're not the most cheery places, but they have a lot of good exhibits and information. This is the main town square, Old Town, and those are two of the old medieval buildings I'll tell you a little bit about. But it's a big gathering place. You'll see live musicians usually playing here. Okay, up on the hill as you walk in, to the left, you'll see Riga Castle, built originally in 1330, but added on to, changed, added on to again. So it lost a lot of its medieval appearance, and it was recently renovated. The president used to house offices here, but he moved out for a couple of years, and they did do a lot of restoration inside, but you'll pass it. Might be on some of your tours. Three Brothers House. These are some of the oldest houses. They were a row. The little street that they sit on is right off the town square. It's called Masa Pilz. Aspects of their culture they feel are most important. And there's a cute little female figure up on the top, and her name is Milda. And Milda was unveiled in 1935, and people used to come here and put flowers at the base of this national monument. Well, during the Soviet period, that was forbidden. Could not do that, and once again today they do it. Here's another little treat on your walk in. This is Big Christopher, and this is another local legend. He has become the city's protector, but this is called the Castle of Light. It is the Latvian National Library, and it was designed by a Latvian American architect, and he's better known for his creation. In 1384, the merchants of the Hanseatic League would occupy the bigger one, and the smaller one would be for artisans who were perhaps in training or traveling. They could stay there. But today it's the home of the Latvian Symphony Orchestra, and the smaller little building here hosts conferences and form the wall city fortifications. All those walls are gone now. This is probably the only part left, and again dates back well, into the medieval period, but they took the walls down, and they first used the tower in 1916. They added a museum here, a military. Kennedy, the future president, he stayed in what was at one point an embassy building. He stayed there in 1939 during his student summer abroad. And unlike many Latvians, he was able to get out before the war came. So that's usually notated by a plaque. Okay, this is one of the buildings right there, one of the guild halls. This is called the House of Blackheads. It was because the black head, you'll see the symbol, you'll see the figure at the bottom there. That's Saint Mauritius. He's their patron saint. And Catholic Church till 1523, it became Lutheran at that point with the conversion. And the wooden tower at one point was the You can see the two main towers, St. Peter's on the right, the little skinny one, and the cathedral on the left. Central Market, this is really fun. Guild. Well, the guild was largely Germans. They were not particularly fond of the street. And it stayed like that for quite a few years until finally the Germans allowed him to join the guild, and in agreement, he turned the cats around. And this is another one. This is just a warehouse now, but this memorial, it was initiated in 2007, 66 years after Nazi soldiers filled the building with the Jewish Latvian families and then burnt it to the ground. A little bit across the street and in a bit. Building constructed 1860s, seats 1,240. The Latvian National Opera Company calls the facility its home, and it definitely is a world-class opera company and venue. Okay, Latvian National Art Museum as well. This was closed for a couple of years for renovation. Not last time we were here, it had just opened. There are some Bronze Age artifacts and medieval curiosities, and also some paintings of art. because under the Soviets you weren't supposed to have churches. In fact, if you go to St. Petersburg, and if you have been there, a lot of those churches during the Soviet era were converted, used for things like hospitals and storage, and everyone who was worshiping had to do so undercover. So that's one of the beautiful restored churches here. This is the Riga Porcelain Museum, traces the history of Latvian porcelain from 1841. And they have everything from sort of decorative pieces to more modern sculptural looking pieces there. A lot of little museums here. This is called a Monument to the Repressed. This commemorates the Russian persecution of the Latvians, and during the Soviet occupation of Latvia, tens of thousands of men, women, and children were ripped from their home and sent to Siberia as slave labor. And there are several famous dates, mostly 1941 and again in 49, when about 15,000 of them were taken away. And then later, 42,000 more in that second event. They were told to pack their warm clothes. They were driven to the train station. So what they have done is made a memorial at the actual train station where this took place. Now this is right in town. It's right in the main square, sort of on the angle from the guild buildings that I showed you. It's called the Monument of Occupation of Latvia, and there are some very good visual exhibits. It's usually open from 11 to 6, and the admission last time we were here was by a donation. And it is, they've reproduced Gulag barracks inside, so you can see how the prisoners were treated. And there's a lot of the propaganda of the day shown as well. This is the Riga Academy of Sciences. They called it Stalin's gift to the Latvian people. And it's a Soviet-era typical style of architecture. If you do go out on any of the tours that leave the city, you'll see architecture that looks usually very tired and very box-like, very sterile in its design. That's generally Soviet-era occupation type period architecture. But this was used for personal bodyguards. Some of the locals view the monument as a symbol of the old communist system, and they would love to tear it down, but others think that it is a necessary tribute to the Latvians who fought in the early years of the war. In decades, the product, Laima chocolates, and they say many to a harbor where you can either walk about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, depending on your pace, to get into the downtown market area, or there is going to be a shuttle available. It will be run by Princess. You can get a ticket. It's an all-day pass, so you may come and go as you please. That ticket will be available in shore excursions, and you can purchase it by closing time the day before Helsinki. Okay, and it will bring you from the pier right in the area, right at the market square, which is kind of the hub of the whole downtown, and I'll show you that. So I just checked with them, and that was the news. So you have some beautiful buildings. They're all a block or so back from the waterfront. Those orange-covered little stalls there, that is the famous downtown market. And this is the lay of the land. We'll be coming in that harbor off to the right corner, and you're going to be going right into the town behind it. Now, the population here, it's a big city, about 600,000 people live here. They share a very long border with Russia. You may have heard a lot about Finland in the news lately. And what they have done, because they've got a long history with invasions by Russia, by Sweden, they have created an entire city underneath the city of Helsinki. In fact, they say it could house up to 600,000 people. And there are a series of tunnels that would be used for any kind of emergency. So keep that in mind as you're walking around. Taxis will also be available at the pier, and they will take you into town. And it's really a sight to behold. But they also have a large local craft section. You can Grand Duchy of Russia, and now the Tsars had control over Finland. So there's no love lost between these two countries. Their nationalism began to grow in the 19th century, and Finnish women got the vote in 1906. Of course, it was totally restricted by the Tsar, but they weren't to be in control much longer because 1917 everything was over. So they joined Germany during World War II to defeat Stalingrad. And I remember being there, one of the tour guides said that they are very proud. They had so much reparation to pay after the war, and they paid every single penny of it now. So now they're just sitting, watching to see what Russia wants to do next. And they'll be NATO members. Okay, this is the downtown. This again is I think one of the government offices. The tourist office should be right in this block. This is right behind the market square. One block back, again, some beautiful architecture. A lot of it is sort of leaning towards Art Deco. Some of it's more arts and crafts period, which shows a lot more of the structural elements, not so flowery. Then the tram takes you there. Now, if you're in Market Square and you're facing the city, if you turn left, you're going to see this Esplanade, it's called. It's like a little park with a beautiful walkway. You'll see some statues. And to the right of it, if you go in to the city, there's a big department store called Stockman's. It's a 7-story mall, essentially. But if you stay on this road, this takes you back towards the pier where we will be berthed. And people come here just to stroll. There are some. This is Senate Square. It's done in the Russian imperial style. It looks just like the buildings in St. Petersburg. But it's a large open square. This is where you'll get your hop-on, hop-off buses. And back in the days, before Wi-Fi was prevalent everywhere, we used to go there and sit on that little statue and wait for the tour buses to pull up because they had Wi-Fi, and you could get a good 10 minutes of free Wi-Fi while the buses were waiting to leave again. Don't tell anybody I did that. I was younger. Okay, Lutheran Cathedral. This is up there at the head of that square, that beautiful square. And it's, as I said, Lutheran. Again, in the Russian style, very, very well renovated. They did the last renovation in the harbor on the other side. You see this up on the hill. Forms, and he felt that the use of an object and the purpose of a building should determine its form. They had to have clarity, not a lot of ornamentation. So most of them look like this. This building at the bottom is Finlandia. And I've got another picture of it. There's Finlandia, very stark square. And there's also a national museum right in that area. Also, this is open at 11. They open a little bit later here because remember, it's dark here most of the year. Naukian Kirko's church. One is left up to their own interpretation. What are these forms to represent? Some people say it's an organ, a pipe organ. Some say it's the Northern Lights. So you can decide. Right downtown is another little modern art museum, which I like. I stop in there quite museum. Another one, comprehensive exhibits. Dock at Market Square that will take you over to the fort. It's on a little offshore island, takes 15 minutes, and it's very pleasant. And the fortress was built in the 1700s when the Swedish ruled Finland, and then it was expanded under the Russian rule, but there are massive walls and ramparts, and you can walk around. There's also a labyrinth way. Have a great time in Helsinki. I'll see you.
Kate from India, Nelson from India, Sadie from India, Laura from Argentina, Raquel and Alan from the Philippines. Give her a applause.
All right.
I like you guys. So, let's crack on with our first cocktail, shall we? We're going to stick around and kick off with Miss Vanessa. Give her a applause. Welcome, Vanessa. How are you? Good day? So our first cocktail we're going to make, being the Brit that I am, there's one thing we're very proud of, the best cocktail drinker in the whole of Britain, Mr. James Bond. So our first cocktail is called the 007 Bombay Martini. So as with all good martinis, we're going to pop some ice in our shakers. There we go, look at that. Lots of ice, it's free, it's wonderful, use it all day long. Now, get them nice and chilled, starting off. So we're going to start off, obviously, it's called a Bombay. So we're going to have Bombay Sapphire. It's a fan of Bombay Sapphire. The bottle got a clap, which is more than I get sometimes. So thank you very much for that. We're going to pop in 2.5 ounces of Bombay Sapphire gin there. That's a lot of gin. Not enough, some people might say, but so there we go. So Bombay Sapphire gin. It got another clap. Well, and then second item, we're going to put in 1/2 ounce of dry vermouth. Very nice. Dry vermouth goes in 1/2 ounce of that. The smaller one of the jigger there. Absolutely fantastic. Now, as James Bond himself, how does he enjoy his drinks? Shaken, not stirred. So let's kick off with our first one, shall we? Now, I'm going to get the bar team. Can you ladies, gents, go and pick me 2 James Bonds, please. Gentlemen, we're going to pick 2 suave and sophisticated young men to come and join us down the line. So if you'd like to be picked, give us a wave or give us a smile. Oh, there you go, 1 volunteer up there. Come on down, sir. There we go. There we go. Easy squeeze. Come on down.
All right.
There we go. What was your name, sir? Mark. And over the other side you've got Doug. Mark and Doug. Give a round of applause. Now there are a few rules I must set into place, and these are very important rules. You may be inexperienced enough to think shaking comes from the hands and the arms, but it doesn't. Shaking comes from the hips, yes. Very important, the hips are involved. The legs, yes, the feet involved. And secondly, do not let go of the lid. Because we will wear my... Oh gosh, I'm getting out of the way. So, it will be like a martini shower, you're right, sir. And I've already had one today. So keep hold of that lid, and all you're going to do is follow the lovely Vanessa. Copy what she does, and the more you clap, the better they will shake. Have we got some appropriate James Bond style music? If you could, please, sir. Keep going. Now, this, to make it traditional, it must be shaken for 1/2 hour, so keep going. We could be here for some time. Keep that lid. Now, you'll notice that the shaking is totally infused with those flavours, getting them nice and chilled. And then once we're ready, I'm going to pop that into a pre-prepared. Oh, it looks like we're ready. Gentlemen, go back in the middle. Oh, we've got the glass ready. Super duper. Now, if you've done this right, this should be a beautiful purple colour. Oh, awkward. Oh, that's the other one. Okay, this is just supposed to be clear. Beautiful. I've got the olive garnish there. Look at that. Give it a bit of a ring out like a towel. Absolutely fantastic. Now we have to decide who was better. Was it Doug or Mark? If you think it was Doug, give us a cheer.
All right.
If you think it was Mark, give us a cheer. Wow, Mark's very popular. So, we're going to give you guys a joke. Give them a round of applause. They get to take away their and like I said before, don't worry. With the power and technology that is medallion there, we'll charge those straight to your account. It's awesome. One martini down. Like I said, that's Bombay Sapphire gin mixed with an infusion of dry vermouth. Classic cocktail. And thank you very much for that. We've got another clap. Thank you very much. We must pick that lady at some point. She's a fan of all the drinks. So there we go, 1.5 ounces. We're now going to put some creme de cola, which is a white, beautiful, beautiful drink, beverage, addition, something, word there. Awesome. English isn't my first language, just let you know. Gibberish is. Right, we've got 1/2 ounce of Chambord to go in there. Beautiful bottle there, look at that. Like in the bottle, I like it. Consistent. So don't want to show favourites, they get offended in the alcohol, yes. So we're going to mix those straight in, and then we're going to put 1/2 ounce of simple syrup in. So sugar-based syrup, water, sugar there. Absolutely beautiful. Nice and sticky, that one. I'll get that on your fingers. So we popped in the vodka, the vanilla vodka, the creme de coeur, the chamois, oh, and lemon juice. Nearly forgot the lemon juice. And then obviously that simple syrup in there. Again, another shaken cocktail. So if I can ask our team to go and pick me 2 lovely ladies to come on down. Oh, of course. No, okay, it's fine. Ladies who would like to come on down, that's fine. Lady in pink at the back. Oh, 2 ladies in pink, look at this. Teacher, just to let you know, the grammar on this is perfect. Just be correcting my grammar, Chris. I didn't write it, you're right, I didn't write it. What was your name again? Kathy, and over there we've got Julia. Julienne, very posh. Julienne, that's sliced carrots, isn't it? Little bits of, anyway, moving on. So, ladies, as with the gentlemen, it is all in the hips and the shoulders. Giving it shaky, shaky, shaky. Keep that cat nice and tight. Okay? Don't have to mop this floor again. So, we're going to be following Kate. Now, just so you know, she doesn't want to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. I might embarrass her. But for 7 years running, Kate has been voted best cocktail. You've got an act to follow. So, are you ready? Yeah. Ladies, are you ready? Let's take it away. Come on. Hey. Let's do this hand this way, come on. Remember the hips. It's all about the hips. Got 17 minutes left. Let's go. Oh, it looks like we're coming to an end. Right, we've pre-garnished our glasses, and in there we've got 3 fresh strawberries. There we go, look at this. And if this comes out right, this should be a beautiful green colour. They're raspberries, are they? What did I say? No, in England we call them strawberries. The raspberries are the bigger ones with the pips on the outside. Totally wrong. Look at that, wow. Beautiful, give her a clap. This is where the other one looks completely different. You're like, oh, word. That's for you, thank you very much. Here it goes. Slowly, slowly catch your monkey, it's good. Test it, what do we think? Out of 10, what do you think? That face says 11 out of 10, I like it. You enjoy that enough, thank you very much. And that's good, let's see if we get a score out of that for you. What we should do though is swap you over, you drink the other one. Julian, what do we think? Have a sip. Out of 10. She'll have another one of those. Excellent. Hey. So that one there was our baked Alaska. That's a great time taking away here. So this is it, we're going to now put those into our ready, dropped it, into our ready garnished glasses. Twist of lemon is all that happens with this one. Let's have a look at a gentleman first. Oh. Hold on a minute, Nelson. Look at Nelson. That is fancy. And let's show it there. So now right, oh, we're going to give that one away. So, who would like to try Nelson's forehead? Oh, there we go. Look at our alcohol fan over there. John, what do you think? Score out of 10? You good? 10 out of 10? Beautiful. Julia, Janet, have a try. 11 and a half out of 10. Right, so we need to decide who is better at shaking it, the ladies and gents. If you think the ladies and Janet was our best shaker, cheer now. You're winning so far. Excuse me. Who thinks John, our gentleman, was the best? His wife. Excellent. I hope it's his wife. Otherwise, we've got a lot of conversations we had later. But well done, Janet. You are winning. You win yourself a free cruise brochure. It's an oldie but a goodie. Well done. Right. Final one. This is probably my favourite cocktail. I'm a bit of a chocolatey fan. Any fans of chocolate? That is an advanced level 4 bounce player, and it's perfectly, you learn on day 2. Awesome. Day 3, that's the part of the bounce, it's perfect.
Good.
John, now's your turn to go and do the same. And finish it off with some Irish cream. Baileys, in fact. Creamy, eh? We've already pre-iced those. You can see they're frosting up as we speak. So, let's pick 2 more people. Martin, go and grab me 2. Young man in the front row, he's there, good to go. Who else would like to come on down? Yes, come on down. Oh, what? Who what? The supervisor or the bar manager. Just so you know, I'm only 3 days into my job here on ship, so I'll be nice to the managers for now. Next time I'll pick on them, it's fine. So we've got our 2 guys, come on down. Yes, of course you. What's your name, sir? Mick. Love it, Mick. And what was your name over there? Beth. Mick and Beth. Right. We got some fun with this one, okay? This one you've got to limbo halfway through. Under the table. It's all over, I like it. Right, so we're following now. Mick, you're gonna follow Xavier, and you're gonna follow Laura, okay? Are you ready on it for the final time? Let's crack that music, let's go. Let's get the hands in clap, come on. The louder you clap, the lower they go. Girls are over the pump. Gentlemen, the girls are putting you to shame. I want to see more hips, gentlemen, please. I've been on them 20 years. Your hands are freezing. So do the ice. So my hands are freezing. Get you holding an ice cube. How long you left? Well, we're going to hit 40 minutes. 40 minutes, okay, yeah, we've got, we're going to do this on tomorrow. I don't know, going for hours. Yeah, we're done. Laura's fingers are kind of go, oh yes, like a milkshake for adults. Beautiful. You're not going because this one's a messy one, trust me. So, I need you to test them and tell me, score out of 10. 20 out of 10. 50 out of 10 for our boys. Well, there you go. Well done to all our volunteers. But I did say at the beginning, we've got that super for martinis in one go.
Oh!
If it goes well, I want the biggest round of applause ever. If it doesn't, we'll just turn it over lunch. Right, are you ready? Let's have a countdown, shall we? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, take it away. Let's go. Here it comes. The martini started. The waterfall is happening. Look at that.
All right, good job.
14. I think it's my cities in one go. Give the boys a round of applause. Derek and Alan, both the Philippines there. Wow. I've got to drink them all on my own. Just so guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna give these out. So, if you would like, and you've not yet had a chance to sample one, come and see the general. We've got 14 giveaways. It is first 14, obviously. But come on down there and hand those out for you.
Right.
But what we'll do is we'll give you a few seconds to take a photo or two of the waterfall first. We'll make sure we get a few photos from them. So thank you very much. Can we give the bar staff a massive round of applause for coming out today? And if you give everyone that why it takes so long for Xavier to get a cocktail, it's because he's always flaring before. That's why. So again, the bars are open. Yes, sir. The bars are open all around the ship. Prudence is the home of the martinis. Definitely go in there. Tell them what you like. Tell them your flavors, and I guarantee.
July 3rd at 5:49 a.m. The ship approaching Lithuania, Lithuania. This is UNESCO. At the ferry. Lithuania. Country Lithuania in near Russia. The ferry go to north side of the port. That's the UNESCO side. They want to get The Sea Museum area, and this one is UNESCO side island, and all the way there they belong to Russia. Russia. They get up with a ferry.
Em đi ra đó là mình phải đi xe bus đi liền thì được. Ngay tàu thì cũng phải
Đâu?
được trên thuyền.
Oh yeah.
Ừ, thế đang đeo cái giống thứ ba này đó.
Yeah.
Mà đeo như
The ferry. Cruise ship.
No, it's just a ferry this time.
Kusu National Park. Sorry. Sorry. Hey? quay đi, chụp đi, không quay chụp. Oh. Oh. Taxi. I see a breathing the port.